Welcome back to Silverbacks Park. It is National Collegiate Rugby's All-Star Weekend. This is Rising Stars. A couple of consolation matches coming up before we get to third, fourth place game and the championship game. Darian will bring you those with Abby Gustitis. Then I will come back in with Abby to do the All-Stars third and fourth and finals. But this is a consolation match. Ohio Valley going to receive in black and red, and it is in Brazilian colors, green and yellow, Prairie States. Sean Broker with Darian Lovelace bringing you this one. Ohio Valley, ball in hand right away. Get it to Reichman. Reichman moves that ball on. Big hit early. Going to be a scrum here to Prairie States.
That was a BOGO on a big hit there. She just kind of waltzed right into that one, and the Prairie States just clapped on that tackle.
Prairie States have Ellie Schwartz to put this one in. Schwartz, senior from the University of South Dakota, studying criminal justice in anthropology. Ball in, Schwartz has the attention of Robson numbers. The ball not clean out the back there. Down to Nordby, but kicked forward by Ohio Valley. Picked up by Marina Street. Marina Street has been excellent for this Prairie States team, and she continues that right now. She's got a player coming on, so she's not guaranteed, but she's at the try line. Marina Street, the sophomore from Millbank, South Dakota, University of South Dakota player, scores the first 5 points of this match.
And prior to this, Marina Street alone scored 60 of the 86 points that Prairie States had over the weekend. And she's been monumental, and she just backs herself every time she's got ball in hand. The finish is real for her every single time. The pace of which she plays, the heads up that she has, and her tenacity to get to the try zone is such a game changer. She won't convert her own try, but that's 65 points for Street alone.
Great work there by Street as they take the lead 5-0. And Street may be getting a bit of a break here. Decided 65 points was enough, I suppose.
It would be enough for me, so. Looks like she might have gotten a little bit of strain there, so.
Well, she can rest easy knowing she's done some great works. Ohio Valley in the black and red, looking for a break up the middle here. Ball down to the right-hand side. Big run coming here from Salyers. Salyers, powerful player for Ohio Valley. Ball in. Gonna have to move this away through Carly McCauley. McCauley gets the ball to Kirsch. Kirsch moves the ball to Wadley. Across field they go. A bit of a mess. Prairie States have come down with this. So Prairie State ball going to go around that right-hand side. Little handoff there from Nordby. Savannah Nordby looking for the corner. Savannah Nordby not going to find. He's about 4 or 5 meters out. Help coming. Referee on the spot. This time they get it. Prairie States go up 10-0.
Yeah, Prairie States just seemed like they were banding together there. A well-deserved try after a nice defensive effort. The pressure that came on generated that turnover there, and then just a heads-up play to see that Ohio Valley had not folded. Cancian is quick. She's one of their top try scorers on Ohio Valley, but she's not held, and so powering over the line was ball. And so that's a well-worth try for Prairie States.
10-0 for Prairie States, looking strong so far. After this, we're going to have Cascade versus Great Lakes in the stadium before we turn our attention to the Rising Stars Championship, third and fourth place and final. Ball back for Ohio Valley. Ohio Valley been inside their half most of the time. Kirsch tackled again and doesn't release, so penalty against. So Prairie State's ball. We'll see if they decide to go quick here. They will go as quick as they can. It's Taryn ball. Kicked back, comes across field. They have another runner out here in Mary Mikulski. Mikulski looking in the corner, and Mary Mikulski, the junior from Papillon, Nebraska, Wayne State College player, heads under the sticks, and it is all Prairie States at the moment.
The ball movement from Prairie States, I mean, just the quick hands through will always do it. And right there, it's just very selfless play. The nice draw and pass. They commit each one of those defenders. Ohio Valley, they just get kind of caught corner flagging there. And with speed like that and her just creating all of that space, she's going to score between the sticks.
That was no good. We're at 15-0. Prairie State's in the driver's seat. So we get some great talking heads in behind us on the stadium sound. Sorry, little rhythm here. Love this song. Just.
Oh no, I thought that there was someone behind us, John.
No, it's This Must Be the Place from the talking heads coming over the system there. So this must be the place where we're watching some great rugby as back on the ball go Ohio Valley. Been a great home is where I want to be is exactly that talking heads. Ball getting ripped away by Prairie States. Prairie States have the ball. Jordan Sieg. To the ground, they have a runners. A little conversation here between the distributor and the first receiver. But they're going to get this one out wide enough there, Prairie States. Taryn Ball is going to get by the first one, the second one. Taryn Ball is inside the 22. Prairie States enjoying their final matchup here as they get the ball wide there to Mikulski. Mikulski in the try zone for 2 in a row. And that is Mikulski going to touch down again. Again, Wayne State College player, a junior. 5 more points.
Looks like there might have been a little bit of a collision there between an Ohio Valley player and some Prairie State's. Ball just went a little bit too hard into contact, but we see all hugs there in the middle as this conversion is about to take place. Yeah, but Ball, I mean, when she gets the ball in hand, it's really tough to bring her down. And she finally is dragged down, but their support's so quick. She offloads it from the bottom of the ruck. You still have a second to play it before the ruck is formed. And that quick offload is what gets the space that is needed for Prairie States to punch in another try.
Prairie State's in the lead, 20-0 right now. No time on the clock here in this first half, so this could be final play. It will not end on that. The ball rolls. Didn't go 10. We're going to come back. Free kick for Ohio Valley. This is about the first time they've gotten into Prairie State's end here, so let's see what they can do. They could use some points before the half here, could Ohio Valley. Cancian takes that one into contact. Player is a little bit bunched here. The ball comes out there to Lena Kirsch. Lena Kirsch, a lot of time ball in hand, the Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Wesleyan University, Ohio player. Gets the ball back to Cancian. Cancian tackled eventually, going to have to recycle this one. Prairie State's time to sort out their defense here. The ball comes out to Reichman. Reichman puts a pass into Salyers. Salyers breaks through the first tackle, looking for the line. These Prairie State players don't want to give up. And what a tackle there from Prairie State's. So well done. Impressive. But they're on defense on their own line here. Players from Ohio Valley. He's going to go for a little bit of pick and go option. He looks like a wolf. Ball's been nearly ripped away, but comes up into Salyers' hand. Salyers looking at the line. Can't quite get there. Ohio Valley. Go towards the line. Referee right on the spot there. And penalty against Prairie State's not rolling away. Going to have to come out to the 5-meter line for this one. Ball there to Reichman. Reichman looking for the line. Reichman is held up so far. Referee looking as the ball gone down. Referee says, indeed it has. So 5 points at the end there for Ohio Valley. Kick to come.
And that's just heart being demonstrated by Ohio Valley. They haven't won a game since we started this competition, but sometimes it just takes one person like Reichman to really go ahead and just take the contact there. hopefully during this next bit they can find a little bit of hope and work on a little bit of a deeper attack, because Prairie States just seem to have it all right now.
And Reichman doesn't hit that one, so we're 20-5. We're going to go to halftime. We'll be right back. See if Prairie States can put in some more points. Ohio Valley looking forward to. We'll be right back.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome back. It was a late try by Ohio Valley coming out in the black and red to score 5 points, but they're down 20-5 to Prairie States in this Consolation Rising Stars matchup. 2 Rising Stars Consolation matches, this one and the next. Then we'll switch to 3rd and 4th place for Rising Stars and championship matchup. Then 3rd and 4th place game for All Stars and the championship game for All Stars. And that will be a wrap on this wonderful National Collegiate Rugby All-Star Weekend here in Atlanta. Finally turning into Hotlanta a little bit. John Broker with Darian Lovelace. Okay, it's not that hot.
I would call it lukewarm Atlanta. Maybe even a little bit chillier.
Warmest I've seen all week.
It's true.
Ohio Valley, Margaret Mock gets us going. Ball up with the head there of Sydney Thomas. Sydney Thomas gets around Salyers, but puts a little pass up there into the hands of Taryn Ball. Taryn Ball having a wonderful game here. The Spearfish North Dakota native. Ball back to Faith Roscoe. Roscoe will show in the middle of the field. Player looking to go on her own. Not going to happen. This comes up to Simonson. Sydney Simonson across the 40-meter line. Quick pop up there into the hands of Journey Sieg. Journey Sieg gets just outside the 22. Taking down the ground, trying to force it out there are Ohio Valley. They have a player down at the moment, so 1 player advantage here for Prairie States. Not going to get around the corner with that one. So kind of coming straight through the middle. Players get it back to Nordby. Nordby thinking about the corner, steps in, steps out, is able to freeze her defender, and she's headed towards the line. And it is Savannah Nordby, the junior from University of South Dakota, wildlife and fisheries science major at that school, scores 5 points.
Yeah, there are a lot of fast animals I could probably think of, but she probably knows a little bit more about me. Prairie States, they do a job well done on keeping the ball alive on a continual basis. The balls are going to hands. They're making the right moments happen. And then whenever they do get the speedsters that are in open space, they're taking advantage of that. Ohio Valley look a little bit tired. One of their primary try scorers, Cancian, hasn't had a lot of moments on the outside, so they haven't really had a whole lot of line breaks. Their one and only try this game came from Reekman, who's really powerful in the middle. And because of the penalties that Prairie State's racked up, that was why they were able to score.
Kick is no good, so we're 25-5. 5 minutes to go in this second half. Plenty of rugby to come your way. Prairie States to kick this one off. Looking at schedules for the remainder of the day. We'll get that to you in a minute. Ohio Valley on the receipt. Big turn around the corner for Ohio Valley, but they're hunted down. Taken towards the touchline. Good tackle. Forces Akika into touch. Akika's first play of this game, the sophomore from Lagos, Nigeria, plays at Wesleyan University of Ohio. Referee having a little discussion here, so we're going to come back. It's going to be a knock-on. So scrum chosen because the player knocked the ball into touch.
A lot of mishandling errors for Ohio Valley throughout the weekend, especially whenever it comes to taking the ball into contact. They're losing it after these big hits are being made. They just need to toughen up a little bit at the point of contact.
So coming up after this is going to be Cascade versus Great Lakes in another consolation game. Then the third and fourth place game in Rising Stars is going to be Great Waters versus North Atlantic. And the championship matchup, Mid-Atlantic versus Eastern Penn. It's going to be at 12:59. At 1:22, third and fourth place game in All-Stars, Big Ten Allegheny, followed by the big one, Lone Stars North Atlantic. Lone Star North Atlantic at 1:45. Stay tuned for all of those matches. Good day of rugby coming. Prairie States in the lead here. Referee says players coming in early from Prairie State, so Ohio Valley is going to have a free kick here. Run coming from Ohio Valley. Ball up to Salyers. Salyers has had some good runs so far. Penalty against Prairie States. Salyers, another Wesleyan University of Ohio player. Player wasn't 10 there, but they're going to keep going here. Here comes a wonderful player in Molly Cancian. She gets under the sticks there. Molly Cancian, the grad student from Baldwin-Wallace University from Brunswick, Ohio. Big rugby awards behind her, has scored 5 points, so it's 25-10.
And it's also 25 points for Cancian over the weekend. A compound of different penalties being racked up by Prairie States led to yet another try. That's what we saw in the last half. 25-12, it's still a heavy ask of Ohio Valley to get up there, but they are showing a bit of promise here, and Prairie States are dropping in their discipline.
Ohio Valley kicks one off. They hit that kick, so it's 25-12. Just under 2 minutes to go in this half. Well, interesting kicking style. That one comes down to him, Tarrant Ball. Eyes up the defense and tries to go around a couple, hands him off, puts a little offload in there. Sydney Simonson gets it to the wing. Sieg on the wing. It gets tripped up eventually. The player down a little slow to get up here from Prairie State's line out called here for Ohio Valley. But we may take just a second here to make sure this player's okay.
A lot of hard knocks to the body over the weekend. These teams have played. This is the fifth game of the weekend for both sides. It looks like that was Ball, who's tough as nails, might have just landed awkwardly. Big Funds there in the middle. It looks like she just might have landed. Yeah, she didn't really have much protection whenever she's falling down. In the tackle, you're not just taught about how to tackle, you're also taught how to fall when you tackle to protect your body. And it looked there, she just wasn't expecting to get slipped off her feet.
We're going to step aside while this player gets attended to. We'll be right back. Yeah, no problem. It would be horrific if we missed anything of this match. We're back. Player up and okay. It is Ohio Valley has the ball. Akika looking for the corner. Akika turns the corner. Player for Ohio Valley. Sorry, oh, I did with that player. A little pick and go there from Ohio Valley. Ball could have been ripped away, but they're okay. That's Molly Cancian. She just scored. Molly Cancian looking to add to her try tally for the weekend. Akika in the distributor role, steps and goes, and is going to be Oyundubra. Akika, sorry, it's the first time I had to say her name all weekend, to be honest. So got that one there. Lagos, Nigeria, the Quantitative Economics and International Studies major at Wesleyan University of Ohio.
Yeah, definitely a smart person for being able to look up and recognize that there was nobody weak side. Cancian does a good job of staying afloat, really throws the defense for a loop, and you just see them get caught a little bit flat-footed. The fatigue and the tired legs starting to set in, but not for the Ohio Valley. 17-25, and I will say that Ohio Valley racking up some points against Prairie State.
Yeah, they're putting in some work in the second half. Marina Street was such a talisman for this Prairie States team. So Ohio Valley has taken advantage of a slightly disjointed and probably tired, as you said, Prairie States team. We are at nothing on the clock here, so more than a converted try away. Player at the end, taken into touch. Referee looks at it and looks at his watch, and that's going to be it for that one. 25-17, Prairie States over Ohio Valley. We're going to step aside. Going to be right back with Cascade versus Great Lakes in just a minute.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Welcome back to Silverbacks Park here in Atlanta, Georgia. We have another consolation matchup here before we go into the third and fourth place game of the championship for Rising Stars in the All-Stars Championship rounds. So it's going to be Cascade in green kicking off to Great Lakes in the light blue and some red. And we are underway here in Atlanta. That one bounces 10, gets to Cascade. Gets to Great Lakes. Chelsea List takes it. Ball coming out here. Middle of the field they go. They've got some runners. Ball skips by. Didn't go forward, I do not believe, so they should be okay. They're trying to take the corner. Has to step back in. Players drifting across on defense from Cascade. First receiver again gets ball a little in behind, so a bit tougher there as they're just going to go straight up the field and try to reset this one. Cascade putting some pressure on there. Again, they have another runner out wide. They're not going to be able to get it there. As the ball pops up into the hands of Cascade, Franchik has it. But back up to Great Lakes it goes. Great Lakes has a ball intercepted there. Referee says it's fine, however, so player is going to off and run. And here comes Cascade. Cascade looking to make this happen. That was Franchik again. Puts the ball out a little wider. Battle inside the 22. Cascade will come up with this. Emily Moore heads back in after going out, tries to hand off a final one, has to get rid of the ball, gets it to one of her teammates. It is try awarded there for Cascade. Good first points for them. Wonderful try to their number 5, Matilda Doherty.
Doherty, I believe that was her first try of the weekend. They've got 2 other try scorers on there, but really showcasing how Cascade can capitalize off of these turnovers very quickly, being able to move the ball into a good space. They worked it to the right and then were able to move it back to the left. And this is just stellar support play that came in from Cascade.
5-0 Cascade will kick this one. 2 minutes gone in this consolation matchup here in the Rising Stars division. Cascade gets us underway through Emily Moore. Emily Moore, the senior from Western Oregon University. Meantime, Great Lakes get inside the half of Cascade, looking to tie this one up. Desperate last attempt there, but player going for the try zone and gonna glide right over. James gets a little bit into the middle there. Try awarded to Great Lakes. We're all tied up.
It looked like she was almost going to do a handstand on up there, but Great Lakes just answering back very quickly. That's exactly what you want to do in sevens. You want to keep the pressure on. She goes wide to then cut back inside and then just has the gas to finish and cross the line. It ties the ball game up 5-5. Conversion is about to be attempted. It goes up, and it looks like it's no good, so score's going to stay 5-5.
It's all tied up at the moment as we keep moving forward here in this matchup. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Kick there from Great Lakes, not quite what you want. Turning back, free kick at midfield. They can't take a scrum if they would like. It's going to be Cascade ball. Emily Moore going to get us started here. Runners in a couple different directions. There's nobody in behind. She could look for a kick there, but decides to keep it in hand, gets it to Franchik. Franchik from Idaho Falls, Idaho, goes to Boise State, pops that ball up in the hands of Kayla Anderson. Anderson gets it back to Moore. Moore looking for the try zone and finds it. We have a lead change here. It is 10 points to 5 to Cascade, right under the sticks, kick to come.
Moore just time and time again tries to be involved in each play. She's looking for that second touch, and that series of play, we had about 5 passes, 2 of which she caught, 1 of which she gave. So Moore is just working exceptionally hard for this Cascade side, especially seeing as how we've got Great Lakes that just scored. Front sack gets the ball from Moore. From there, she just does a no-look pass. Trusts that her support is going to be there. Moore's there, waiting in position to wrap around, cuts back inside, dishes the fend, and that's another 5 for Cascade.
Cascade hit the kick there, so it's 12-5. Ball bounces, but referee says it went back, so Great Lakes on the move here late in this first half. 2 minutes to go. Did that ball get ripped away? It didn't. It was illegal by Cascade coming in over that ball. Little over-aggressive there from Kayla Anderson. Went in to try to drive off of that and lost her footing. Constitutes a penalty, so Great Lakes through. List try to come through. Ball ripped away this time legally by Cascade. So Cascade on the move with Tessendori. Aguiar, Tessendori. Ball out wide to one-on-one. Big handoff there from Miranda Aguiar. Miranda Aguiar is across the 22. Another attempt to defend. She's working hard there. Ball's been ripped away by Great Lakes. What work for Great Lakes to get back, but Cascade, Estella Miranda Aguiar, quite a play. But it's going to be a knock-on, so we'll come to a scrum for this Great Lakes team.
We've talked about her enough, but there's so much more that you can say about the number 10 Moore. Over here, we see that she gets a little bit disconnected. It's a big size difference, but Moore makes it look easy. She pops back up to her feet, and she works hard to counter ruck. And from there, what Cascade do very well is that they move it away from the pressure area. It's just unfortunate because a great chase to Great Lakes.
They got it to Estella Miranda Aguiar, the senior from Western Oregon University, who just forced off a couple players. And the bounce comes back there for Great Lakes. So the luck of the turf right now. Player gets away from what may be a final tackle. Speed is coming on here. Great Lakes looking for the try. It's Sandberg. Sandberg at the try line. Going to be able to touch that one down. Her opposite number, Allardyce, cannot quite get there. So try awarded to this Great Lakes team. It was a 2-point game.
Yeah, and what an exceptional answer. Off of a wayward kick. We didn't know if Great Lakes was going to be able to field that one, and they do well to do so. Cascade, it's not easy to get around Moore. And then we've also got Allardyce making chase as well. But defend, the way that she's able to work the defense just speaks volumes about the skill set of Sandberg.
We are tied up at 12 at halftime here. We're going to step aside. Everything to play for in these next 7 minutes. Stay with us.
Play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Welcome back. We're all tied up in this consolation match between Great Lakes to kick off there in the light blue, and in the green and black is Cascade. This is their final match of the weekend there, all tied at 12. After this, third and fourth between Great Waters, North Atlantic, and Rising Stars, and the championship of Rising Stars, Mid-Atlantic versus Eastern Penn. After that, it is going to be a Big Ten versus Aligene in the third, fourth place game for All-Stars. Lone Star North Atlantic in the big championship. John Brugger, Darian Lovelace bringing you this one. All tied up. 7 minutes to go. Everything to play for these teams. Want to end with a good showing of themselves here as Tessa Medina takes that one into touch. Ball moved away there by Jada Miller. Turned over by Great Lakes. Turned over again by Cascade. This time Cascade will come up with it. They have a couple of runners out here. They're going to decide to hold this one tight. Ball held up in the air. Ball would wind up with a scrum for Great Lakes. Players have to get her knee to the ground and does. Referees giving some leeway here for that. Got some runners wide if they can get it there.
The middle looks better for this side, and it looks like it's also looking better for Great Lakes. They're starting to contest a little bit more there.
Miranda Aguiar moves that ball out for Cascade. Cascade has some runners in there. That's Medina again looking out wide here. You see Priestman wrapping around. They're going to go to the left-hand side. Can they find the corner here? Will there be a handoff? Getting by there is Emily Moore. Emily Moore, Darian pointed out earlier, has had such a good weekend, is going to get that one down for 5 points. So Emily Moore from Bend, Oregon, an exercise science major at Western Oregon, touches down a 5-pointer here in this consolation match.
Didn't look like there was much to buy over on the left-hand side. They had the overload on the right. It was going to be a 4v3, and Moore recognizes that she might have a little bit more speed up against Meadows. And it pays off for her greatly. She'll attempt to convert her own try. Looks like it's going to veer to the left, so score still stays 17-12, but less than 5 minutes to go. And it still could be anybody's game.
Certainly could be. 5 points in at 17-12. Everybody enjoying this National Collegiate Rugby All-Star Weekend. Great Lake players sitting a little deep here, so expecting a long kickoff from Cascade. And don't get it, so Cascade going to try to go after this. Knocked on by Great Lakes. So ball comes up into the hands. Jada Miller. The corner might have been there for Moore again, but decided to go in the other direction. Ball to Fronchak. Fronchak puts in the pass. Looking for some speed, a slow down, speed up in the corner there. And here come Cascade. Cascade going to score another one. I'm going to extend that lead. Great work there by Hannah Nguyen. Hannah Nguyen, a sophomore from Boise State University.
And what speed that came in. Ball kind of went down. We saw Moore attempt the left-hand side, realized that they were all going to flood that way, so she moves it back to Frontzak. Frontzak is there awaiting, and Wen just takes off. Just has a nice little swap move off, and then is just able to get some more points on the board. She was tired of Moore scoring all those tries. She wanted a piece of that cake as well.
Needed to get on the scoreboard there. Good work to do so. Great little turn of pace there. This game rolls on. A little over 3 minutes to go, but a 10-point lead now for Cascade. Little chip again there. That one went 10 and came back, so referee's happy with it. What a bounce there. Jada Miller winds up with it. Jada Miller has been more of a power runner than a passer as she's come in the game here, digging it out her Cascade. They're going to go to that side through Miranda Aguiar. Miranda Aguiar is going to break through a couple of tackles. Miranda Aguiar is going to fend a couple off. Miranda Aguiar is going to put in that final little move there, and it's going to be Fronchak who's going to get the try. Fronchak, the senior from Boise State, kinesiology major, touches down 5 points. They extend to 15.
It's about time that she finally found her way into the try zone. Time and time again, we've seen Frontzak give a selfless ball to a person who's in a better position, but this was all set up by Miranda Aguilar, holding the ball, being patient with it, waiting for the right moment to crack the whip. And when she was there, Frontzak was there and confident to get over that line. And it just seems like the Great Lakes don't have much to flow or work with. All of the position has been for Cascade.
Cascade has owned the second half. We're under 2 minutes to go. They're at a 15-point lead right now. Ball bounces in behind Great Lakes. Little miscue in there, but referee says that's fine, play on. Ball kicked by a Great Lakes player. Miller goes down. So Cascade now ball inside the 22. Runners aplenty out to the right-hand side. As they move the ball out there, just bounced a little bit by Medina. Gonna go back for a scrum here. There's a minute and 30 seconds left in this one.
A minute 30, this is the last match for both of these teams. You've got to hope that Great Lakes can kind of band together and just have more fun with possession of the ball. With Cascade really dominating in the second half, we haven't seen much play within the Great Lakes side.
Ball in from Great Lakes. Straight out the tunnel, so we're going to slow this one down. We're under a minute to go in this matchup. Ball coming in here from Great Lakes, but taken away by Cascade. Cascade already up by 15, looking to extend this lead. That's Miranda Aguiar. Miranda Aguiar gets the ball away there to, it looks like Franchak, who just scored. So Franchak going to touch down again, the senior from Idaho Falls. Idaho touches down, 15 seconds left on the game clock. We'll see if this is the final play.
Miranda Aguilar being adaptable, reaches for the scrum off of a turnover, looks up, keeps the attack, maintains the fend, and then underneath the arm is able to move it to Franchak back on the inside. And from there, Franchak, again, we haven't seen her be able to get this amount of time down in the try zone, but she's working really, really well with Miranda Aguilar.
Referee says there's time for the restart, so we're 34-12 here. Just that time. Coming up, be the third, fourth place, and then the championship for Rising Stars. After that, the All-Stars. Gave you those times in it. Games a little earlier, but you can go to the NCR app or the NCR webpage to get all that information. Great weekend of rugby nearing its close here in Atlanta, Georgia. Ball goes in behind Great Lakes. Great Lakes inside their 22. That's go a long way to get more points. Player driven into touch. Assistant referee spots that. Referee has a look. And that is the end of that one. It's going to be Cascade 34-12 to Great Lakes. We're going to step away for a couple of minutes. We'll be back with third, fourth place, and then championship and Rising Stars, followed by the All-Stars Championships. Stay with us.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Welcome back to the National Collegiate Rugby Women's Sevens All-Stars, where we've got the third place match for the Rising Stars. On your right are going to be the North Atlantic side. And then on the left-hand side, we will have Great Waters in the blue. Set to kick off will be the North Atlantic. Darian Lovelace joined by Abby Gustitis, and we are underway. Kick bounces twice. Taking it right in to contact is Commends. And instantly turning it over is the North Atlantic. A knock on, though, due to that great aggression, and it's going to go back to Great Waters.
Little exchange of possession early on, but Great Waters end up with ball in hand again. Look to settle things down. That offload off the deck just into the hands of the North Atlantic player. So Molly Manor at the back of the scrum for Great Waters, seeing what she can create.
Done to Manor, and then it ends up in the hands of Erickson. 30 points to the name. Can she make it for a 35? She's making it look easy. Right there we see McBrayer give chase, but it doesn't matter. 35 points for Ella Erickson for the weekend.
7 tries this weekend. Ella Erickson making a name for herself in Atlanta, Georgia, and pulling Great Waters off to an early lead. Set piece move, but there's not much to it other than hands. Get it to Ella Erickson and get it to her quickly, because she will do the rest. We've seen her run down this pitch plenty of times this weekend, and it's such a great sight.
Manor will get us underway for Great Waters. A deep kick center field. Finally, it's picked up by Mitchell. Mitchell's also no stranger to the try zone. She gets tackled well on the right-hand side, and a quick pickup from Garner. Continues on the attack for North Atlantic. Almost spotting a half gap was Mitchell. And electing to take it right back into the center. There was a skosh of space there for Copley, but Great Waters holding strong. As Garner dishes one to the inside and then is able to move it out, and a nice spot tackle comes in from Commends. Garner cleans it up, and the attack looking slightly flat for North Atlantic. Working around the corner is Westervelt. Long passage of play. Garner making herself instrumental. Moves it back inside to Eurista. Eurista pops it to Mitchell. It bounces once. And the attack getting just a little bit congested. They're playing on only one side of the post. And you can hear the screams for them to move it out to the right. They are successful with it, and this is danger time. She's well handled by Parent. Parent putting her down to the ground, and now North Atlantic feeling the pressure. Send in some reinforcements to the ruck. And a nice step by McBrayer. Almost gets her through, but then a knock on ends up with it back in Great Waters' hands, and that was a lot of play just within about 10 meters of space.
They just need to stretch the field, challenge the defense right now. As they keep cutting back inside, they see these little half gaps, but there's so much room to work with if they can get the ball out wide. See the first receiver just taking it up to the line, then dishing it out. She needs to hold her feet. McBrayer there, cutting back against the grain, but well marshaled by Great Waters.
Great Waters wins the scrum, and Erickson at center flings one over the head of Stanislawski. And the ball gets coughed up forward. Manor's there to clean it up. Erickson feeds it to the back line, waiting on the left. And hands look strong. It's a little bit delayed, but somebody who's off to the races was Commends. And McBrayer does well to corral her. Looks like there might have been a high tackle. And Great Waters talk shop and decide on the scrum.
McBrayer just creeping up, a little bit of a seatbelt tackle where that one arm crosses the line of the shoulder, so deemed illegal by the referee. And Great Waters, I like this option for them. They know they have strike runners like Ella Erickson in that second receiver position. I think they'll try to get the ball to her early, see what she can create, and maybe release the winger.
Deciding to not go wide was Commends. Ends up in some pretty dangerous pressure area. Somebody who makes it, though, is Connor. Connor, though, gets hit by the turf monster, falls over, and then is able to pop it off. They've got a deep attack set. Great Waters to the right if they can move it. They do get into the hands of Erickson. Erickson, of course, where is she going to go? Right in between the sticks. It's another 5 for Erickson. We're at 10-0. We got Great Waters leading.
Great Waters take a little longer to get the ball to Ella Erickson, but of course when they do, that woman finds the try zone, as she has continued to do so this weekend. Looks like Manor is unable to add the extra 2, so score remains 10 points to 0 as Ella Erickson gets a little bit of a rest.
About 1 minute left here in this third place match for the Rising Stars. Manor with the boot again goes in the middle of the field. McBrayer, the bounce is awkward, so she's having to turn around to retrieve that one. Steps back inside. It's a beautiful step, and it does beat one defender. She gets dangerously close to that sideline. And Parent looks like she might have gotten her hands in there. Referee says it's fine, so it's a turnover right at the 22. Manor always there to distribute, working it through the hands. This is good stuff. And still working hard is the number 8 for Great Waters. That's Brink. Brink is on the brink of greatness, and that's going to be 5 more points for her.
Taylor Brink, she had the extra woman outside her, but does not need her. In fact, does it all herself. But Great Waters got the turnover at the breakdown, and then they move it. Manor through the hands, 2 passes, finds the seam of the defense, and she is just powering through. She skirts right by a few North Atlantic defenders and doesn't need the extra woman.
So 15-0. We've got Great Waters on top for this third place match.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Welcome back, and we are back from the halftime. Great Waters 15-0 over North Atlantic, set here for the third place match for the Rising Stars. And Great Waters will be the team in blue on the right, who give a good boot Ball rolls into the try-zone. And then North Atlantic decide to attack out. Works well for them as they get tackled right at the 22. Seems to be a bit of a confusion though as referee calls back for a forward pass and a scrum at 2 Great Waters.
Frustrating start to the second half from North Atlantic. They should have dotted that ball down into the try zone. A little bit of confusion causes that forward pass from North Atlantic, and now prime attacking opportunity for Great Waters when they're already 3 scores ahead.
Gleason will put this one in for Great Waters. The scrum is clean, works it back to Manor, who's behind the scrum, who then moves it to Brink. Brink gives a fend of her own, and then gives it off to Stanislawski. Stanislawski, the junior, will dot it down. A lot of accolades to Stanislawski's name.
Such a solid platform from that scrum. Manor teases the line a little, dishes it off to Brink, and for all money you would have thought she'd back herself as she did in the first half, but selfless as she is, pops it off to her teammate, and Stanislawski ends up in the try zone, pulling this Great Waters side ahead even further.
A bit of sorting for North Atlantic. Again, the ball bouncing about 10 times again into the try zone. They elect to attack out. Manor is there to put the pressure on after that kick. And attack looks flat, but they try to move it to the left-hand side. They do get it into the hands of McBriar. She's met quickly, though, by the outside defender, Shelfo McGrath. Contesting heavily at the ruck yet again is Great Waters, and they get well rewarded for it with a not releasing penalty.
This tactic off the restart is working really well for them. They're pinning North Atlantic deep into their own half, just outside their own try zone, and forcing errors. Because North Atlantic would then have 90, 95 meters to go to score, they're allowing themselves to apply heaps of pressure, and 2 for 2 getting the reward.
Ball glides out, and Manor decides to go to the right-hand side, moves it back inside to Gleason. And now they're trying to move it to the left, but this pressure defense coming up from North Atlantic pushes them right back into the spot where the scrum took place. Attack looking a little bit jumbled there in the middle. The ball hits the deck once, and then Tim decides to go ahead and have a run. And a awry ball forces Stanislawski to work it back, and then somebody who's trying to get that fend going. After an offload on the inside, Tim has room to burn, and Tim will get over the line 25-0. And Great Waters, it's like a flood of attack for them against this North Atlantic side.
Connor scoops and comes up the blind side. A bit of a risky decision, but she does well to maintain her feet. And then a nice little support line from Hannah Tim. 5 on her back, 5 to her name in this match.
Kick is no good, so score will stay 25-0. About 3 minutes left. Final match between the two sides, and North Atlantic, just not a lot of possession for them here in the second half.
They need to take this restart on the full. These first 2 from Great Waters in this second half, they've allowed to hit the deck, and the bounce of the rugby ball is very rarely kind.
It always seems a little bit humbling. Better restart for them. Kick goes to the 40, so this is about as much ground as the North Atlantic side has made. Thrown to ground, though. They move it to the left-hand side, and attack looks flat, so she's quickly met. Mitchell's taken to ground, offloads it, though, to White, who then gets it into the hands of McBrayer. McBrayer gets off one. McBrayer has the finish. McBrayer, she's over the 22, and it looks like Great Waters are not going to catch her. She's gonna dot it down between the sticks, and that's the first try for North Atlantic.
McBrayer wipes the goose egg off the scoreboard for North Atlantic, and she had to put in a lot of work to get those 5 points. She gets a messy ball from her teammate, but you thought that she was going to get taken to ground, but that low center of gravity, she has her teammates jumping up and down on the sideline, and she's under the sticks. Unfortunately, conversion no good as well, so score remains 25 points to 5. This one just out of reach for North Atlantic.
North Atlantic, though, still want to play rugby. They kick it short, and Great Waters is quick over top of it is Ruby, but that's going to be a knock-on, so it goes back to North Atlantic, so it'll be a scrum at the 40.
Chance here for North Atlantic to get that second try on the board. Great Waters will make a substitution, as will North Atlantic. A few finishers seeing if they can lift this energy. McBrayer, the try scorer, heading off the pitch for the final time this weekend. Really flat attack from the back
You can't
line.
tell who's on attack or defense here, but somebody who does try and build some attack is Velo. Velo offloads it to Leave It, and Leave It connects well. And then a turn of an offload gets Schaefer through some space. And now they're about 10 meters out, but the defense comes up in the face of this North Atlantic attack. Referee, though, deems the breakdown illegal, and from there, right from the jump, is Westervelt. Westervelt offloads it to Velo. Velo's just shy of the try zone, and it looks a bit congested there, but over the line they go, and National Atlantic get their second try of the match, but it looks like time has run out.
Sarah White for North Atlantic falls over the try line, closing the gap. A little too late, but heads up play there from Westervelt. She knows Great Waters is in back 10, carries it, a little offload, and then I like this unselfish play again, getting it out wide. Sarah White with the dive, with the 5 points, and then there will be time for one final restart as the conversion goes over the posts with score 12 points to 25.
One more set, and then next for our final will be Eastern Penn versus Mid-Atlantic. A knock-on from the kickoff. Might be the game. Referee deems that it's not. Looks like we still have about 15 seconds left to go, so this should be our final scrum.
North Atlantic again with that flat back line. They have their first hands right at the base, but referee resets the scrum, making note of that mark where the hookers from each side need to align. We see Westervelt with ball in hand, see if she can get a stable platform, but yet again, ball comes right back out. You see a little engagement from both sides ahead of that ball being put in. They do need to wait until the ball is fed, and then you can push.
Westervelt set for the put in. It goes right back to Great Waters. Referee, though, not happy with that scrum. So Westervelt ready for the quick tap. Is looking to connect with Velo. Velo gives it back to Westervelt and into the hands of the number 5, Tim. And they need only to kick this out. Dutton does so. So 25-12, your third place winners for the Rising Stars are Great Waters, and a job well done. We've got the final match for the Rising Stars coming up between Eastern Penn and Mid-Atlantic. Stay with us.
Rugby is all about feeling. feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
Shout out to an NCR staff member, Kayla Dustin. She's over at the merch tent, so on your way out, make sure you wish her happy birthday.
Welcome back, and this is the culmination of the Rising Stars bracket. We've got Eastern Pennsylvania versus the Mid-Atlantic. Both teams going 4-0 for the weekend, and this is going to be a matchup. Darian Lovelace joined by Abby Gustitis. Abby, both these teams have been exceptional over the weekend.
Far and above the two best teams on the weekend. Let's start with Mid-Atlantic. The women in pink, they have stars across this side, but keep your eyes on the green boots of Kelly Greenleaf, as well as Juliet Robinson, and then the ever-present Morgan Ron in the middle of the pitch, number 20. They have threats across the pitch. They're strong on attack and defense, and they work really well together. Now on the opposite side, we have Eastern Penn in the red, white, and blue. The woman to keep your eyes on is gotta be Paige for me, wearing the headgear, wearing number 6, and then they have the likes of Bowen, a powerhouse, a strong ball carrier in the middle of the pitch, and then you have Duffy Perry, ever in the mix, being a little playmaker for that side. But right now, it's championship time, so nothing we've done until this moment really matters. It's who can get up, who can lift the energy for these 14 minutes.
And we've got a DJ who's definitely finding some energy for us here on the pitch. On your right, Eastern Penn will receive from Mid-Atlantic. And ready to get us underway is Robinson. Goes over the head of Austin, and Austin's got to gather it quickly. She hits the deck, and that's going to be a knock-on right within the 22 for Mid-Atlantic.
Early error seen from Eastern Penn gifts that ball to Mid-Atlantic. They'll have a scrum inside the 22 for Eastern Penn. This is going to put Eastern Penn on a lot of defensive pressure, especially when you look up, you see Greenleaf to Ron to Brulea. They are all threats with ball in hand.
First scrum of the match. And dominating at scrum time is Eastern Penn. And they win it. Ball hits the deck once, and they've got to turn around and get it together. Foster goes straight to the boot, and it goes straight out. So we'll also have our second bit of set piece with a line out.
A lot of times players take for granted the scrum, thinking it's our ball, we're gonna win it. No, you need to engage, you need to drive when that ball is in, create a stable platform for your 9, but ball back in hand for Mid-Atlantic.
Ball does not look like it's straight through the tunnel. So referee will call for a scrum back to Eastern Penn.
Few errors on each side starting us off. Potentially some championship nerves, cobwebs, got to dust them off. So first attacking scrum for Eastern Penn.
Eastern Penn turn the scrum to the left and make a mockery there of Mid-Atlantic scrum. When you're getting pressure like that, what's the fix?
The scrum half needs to hold the feed. Remember, they have the option to put the ball in when they think it's stable.
Lineup goes up. It does hit the pitch, but Eastern Penn will remain in possession. Austin moves it to Paige. Paige is their all-time try scorer. Continues to pump the legs, but Bruelia brings her down to ground. A little bit of a high tackle there coming in from Ron. Brings them to ground. And Foster tries to weasel her way through the middle. Austin elects to go back to this left-hand side. She breaks through one tackle, continues to pump the legs and offloads from the ground. They're trying their best to get it into Paige's hands. Paige, though, is well marked by Bruelia. And Bowen now has it. Bowen, fearless in the tackle, gets her arms free. And this swarming defense by Blackman is just keeping Eastern Penn at bay. They go right back into the pressure area, and looks like it might have been won by Robinson. It is, and Robinson decides to go and have her own bit. She connects with Blackman, and Blackman gets tossed to ground by Foster off of the chase at the 22 with a turnover there. Ball gets tossed back, and the advantage goes to Mid-Atlantic. Looks like we might have a player down.
Blackman ended up getting tackled just then. She stays on the deck. As time goes off, we see her getting some medical attention, wishing her nothing but the best as the players give her some space. But chaos on the field right now. So Robinson, look at her over the ball. Great body position, wins it cleanly, but she just needs to send it. When you get that turnover, you have to get it out wide. You want to get away from the defense. Instead, Blackman gets taken down. I think just a big collision, just mindful of this turf. And hopefully she's looked after, potentially gets off the field now. It will be Mid-Atlantic ball. They'll probably reset with a scrum given Mid-Atlantic had possession.
We're gonna wait for Blackman to get up. Good to see her upright, but we'll be back with you in just a minute. Blackman is up, and she did get a substitute. Grove is on now, as at Mid-Atlantic were awarded a penalty. And the ball moved to the left and is now in center pitch. Bowen decides to get her hands in there, though. And so now Eastern Penn have an opportunity to attack out. Austin tucks the ball instantly and decides to use the fend. Offloads off the ground. And a looping play, get them closer and closer to the sideline. Staying pretty stuck in this part of the pitch is Austin. And a referee calling for Eberl to get out of there. And already Duffy Perry ready to get us underway. Barton takes it in and it's stripped away. And the ball.
A little confused there about this long, high tackle, says the referee. So ill discipline from both sides. Looks like both are getting away from their structures that we've seen from them. They're getting caught up in these one-off carries and expecting to break a tackle, but both of these teams really strong on the defensive efforts.
Yeah, sevens is really tiring if you play it like it's 15s. Moving it to Foster was Page, but unfortunately right there, Robinson gets in the passing lane. And in just a split second that it took for me to take a look down, she already had it and had run away with it. That's an important defensive play, 5-0 now.
Juliet Robinson. You should know her name by the end of this weekend if you don't already. She has been everywhere for this Mid-Atlantic side. She read that from a mile away. As we look on to see if Greenleaf can make it a full 7 points, it does go just left, so score is 5-0. But have a look at Robinson at the top of your screen. She gets up, reads it perfectly. It's a pick 5 in rugby. And you see her cruising down the pitch right under the sticks. And that's going to open this one up.
And as the Black Eyed Peas would saying, let's get the party started. Robinson, though, makes a mistake after that long run. Ball hits the deck. And so ready to play is Dennis. Dennis takes it right into the middle of the field. They're well over the 40. And they've got options on both the left and the right. They're trying to work it to Page quickly. Almost was a forward pass, but they play on. Moving it back to the right. Foster gets it to Austin. Austin has some speed, but Robinson, yet again, playing defense. Does not allow much ground to get covered. Working their way to the sideline as they get tossed out of bounds. It's going to be a line out to Mid-Atlantic.
Disappointing there from Eastern Penn. She elects to go up the short side. There's only a couple meters of space and then goes into touch. So you see her, she comes in, and then Robinson, the try scorer, just drags her over the line, giving them the ball back.
Breaking through a few tackles is Ron. Looks like somebody might be down there, though, for Eastern Penn as they are scrambling to get back on defense. It's extremely tight here on both attack and going over the neck was Dennis. And a penalty for Mid-Atlantic. Looks like we might pause it for a second as Austin is being checked on by medical staff.
Mid-Atlantic just going with the one-off carries when they have overloads created. And looks like they're happy to go into halftime with just the narrow lead of 5 points.
5-0 Mid-Atlantic. They choose to take a break. Hopefully they'll have some good conversations as we enter into the second half of the Rising Stars final.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome back. Second half of the Rising Stars final. We've got the team in pink at Mid-Atlantic 5-0 over Eastern Penn. And just a lot of one-off carries for both sides.
Truly a nail biter here. 5 points the difference. Just one try in 7 minutes. So a lot of defense happening. Strong tackles being made from both sides, but I'd like to see a little more flair and creativity on attack.
And something that is creative is this point of contact. She gets driven backwards and it winds up in the hands of Grove. And Mid-Atlantic are on the attack. Robinson does a little shake and bake there in the middle. And they've got numbers to burn, but she elects to tuck it and the speed looks good. This is the pizzazz that they need. Lucky number 7, that's Worthington. Worthington makes it worth the time as she gets in between the sticks. 10-0 now. Mid-Atlantic beaten. And that's not easy to beat Paige.
Sid Worthington has been all over the pitch this weekend. We see her putting shots in on defense, normally busting through a few tackles as she screams for some water after that well-earned run. But this time, just takes the corner, backs her pace. I like that. I love the confidence from these women.
It's like they had really good examples on like the national team and the Olympics for just confident people who knew what they were doing. Robinson gives a shank down the middle. Paige, it bounces off the body and then hits the deck. Very uncommon mistakes for this Eastern Penn side. So it gets a scrum within the 22.
Something also that's been overlooked is catching those restarts cleanly. That will allow you to create a breakdown or have a crack. Instead, you're trusting the bounce of a rugby ball on turf.
Robinson with the feed.
I like how Robinson is waiting now. She knows her forwards are under pressure at the scrum, so she's waiting for it to be a little more stable till they can gain control. Then she puts the ball in, and she has Greenleaf that she's going to look to get it to.
Robinson goes to the right-hand side and is in a foot race with Duffy Perry. She cuts back inside and then offloads it to Greenleaf. And offloading it from the deck as they move it to the left-hand side. Looking like they're going to round at Paige yet again is Ron. Mid-Atlantic score again. It's going to bring our score 17-0.
Morgan Ron getting a few pats on the back from her teammates. So Greenleaf, dummy doesn't quite sell but off the deck to Robinson, to Worthington, to Morgan Ron. A little in, a little out, and the put down, and the slide tackle's not quite good enough from Eastern Penn to discount that try.
Conversion is good at 19-0 now with the Mid-Atlantic. Looking like they might take this one and run with it. We've got about 4 minutes left in this second half. And Eastern Penn are gonna have to talk tirelessly if they wanna get some points on the board. One bounce and Paige now has it. Moves it back inside to Dennis. And there's some speed there in the middle. And the support is quick as a couple of players find their way into that mess. A high tackle though, get Eastern Penn a penalty. And Austin elects to try and bully her way through. Austin picks herself up again and offloads it to Barton. Ball hits the deck once and then Bowen gives a big pass and Paige is there. She's almost well met and she's close to the sideline. She gets tackled, offloads it back inside to Foster. Foster loses possession though. And Mid-Atlantic choose to play on as the team in pink look to exit out of this end. A nice little stutter step and some speed. It looked like it might take it all the way. And a nice fend buys her just a skosh of time there. Looping around is our try scorer, Worthington. And a big fend against Weiss. Gets Worthington over the try zone. And another 5 for Mid-Atlantic.
Worthington may have just sealed the victory for Mid-Atlantic. It's a turnover. It's Morgan Ron who gets Paige down. Brulea gets ball in hand, tries to take the corner. She's corralled from Eastern Penn, but has the support of Sid Worthington, who won. Little bit of a fend, a tumble, and a put down. And it's a commanding lead for the Mid-Atlantic, who have kept Eastern Penn to 0 points thus far.
Eastern Penn, no stranger to the try zone, just don't seem to have an answer. Possession is monumental here for Sevens Rugby, and Eastern Penn have just been starved of it. Looks like some substitutes will start to roll in here as Robinson gets set for our kickoff. Kick is high and it's a catchable one. Trying to use some footwork there is Kretzink. And Austin is there to receive the offload. Dennis looks at the weak side, gives a fend to the face, and gets her team towards the 50. Working hard on the ground as Kretzink comes there to move it to Austin. Austin chooses to go for her own, and there's some space that opens up in the middle. She offloads it well to Weiss. Weiss tries to give it to Bowen and bounces it once. Somebody played it on the ground though, that was Grove. And so a penalty goes to Eastern Penn. Bowen decides to go ahead and drop the shoulder and uses that power that we've seen all weekend. Ball is exposed. And then Paige ends up at the end. Paige does a nice little stutter step back on the inside though, and not letting her in the try zone yet again is Ron. And there's still some space to burn as they get the turnover there. Nobody seeming to really take a lot of ownership of the ball, especially when they're in contact.
Just that little knock on, but the efforts from Morgan Ron on defense have really been the saving grace for Mid-Atlantic. You see Parpell there, tries to set it back, and then just a little nudge forward, she loses it. And this will gift possession back to Eastern Penn. It's a little too late, but maybe they can get a consolation try.
Close to the try zone, the ball gets lost underneath the scrum, and Foster elects to go to the left-hand side. Robinson misses the tackle, and it looks like she'll dot it down in the corner. 5-24 though, and it looks like Mid-Atlantic will be your Rising Stars champion here in Atlanta, Georgia.
One final try for Eastern Penn, and it was Lindsay Foster. It comes off the scrum. It's a little messy from the forwards of Mid-Atlantic, but you see Lindsay Foster just come around to that blind side, and she might have just snuck that one in, and it looks like the conversion is no good. But a round of applause for the Mid-Atlantic Rising Stars. This team has truly built throughout the weekend, and they were the most on-form team. They had 11 try scorers on their team across the weekend. That goes to show you how much value each one of these women have brought to the side.
And high fives all around here as the Rising Stars bracket comes to an end. Mid-Atlantic, coached by Andrew Higgs, Christopher Newport, and Devin O'Crump are part of that championship team.
And it looks like Alicia Washington, USA Eagle World Cup attendee, is handing them the trophy. We got a little dance, we got a little celebration from the women in pick, the Rising Stars champions, Mid-Atlantic. And you know, as a fellow Mid-Atlantic gal, I gotta show them some love. I got a fellow Terp out there, Rin Grove. Keep repping University of Maryland, but all around, there were some serious studs on that team. But let's also give note to Eastern Penn. They had an incredible weekend, unfortunately came up short in this final.
And Eastern Penn will be your runner-up. Mid-Atlantic take the Rising Stars. We're getting ready to enter into all-star consolation matches and the final. Stay with us, a lot more rugby is yet to come.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Welcome back. It's time for the big ones. We are at National Collegiate Rugby's Collegiate Rugby All-Stars Women's National Cup 2025. It is the All-Stars third and fourth place game, followed by the championship matchup. John Broker, happy to be joined by U.S. Olympic captain Abby Gustitis for two more. Let's take a look at some players on these teams. Abby is going to talk you through some players that have caught her eye.
Aligene, who are on your screen right now in the black and yellow. Right at the top, number 15, Tamsin Boyce. She has been relentless on defense. She has some speed. She's accompanied by Alexis Dallas and Dahlia Hill, who will ignite this team, and they'll look to go to them for that ball carrying. And then on the other side, the team kicking off in gray will be the Big Ten. For me, it's all about number 7, Mia Blocker. This woman is all over the pitch.
Mia Blocker has certainly scored a lot of tries. Number Burton there. Barton, she's been very good. That ball doesn't go 10. It goes eventually. Looked like it was knocked on by Aligene, but it's in Big Ten hands. Big Ten moving the ball across field. Big Ten lost to Lone Star in the semifinals. Nice break there, and Abby is pure genius calling up Mia Blocker, and she's going to turn the corner and touch down the first 5 points. What a player.
It turns out I didn't pay her to do that, actually. But I would bet on her. Clearly, she knows exactly where that try zone is, and it wasn't even on for her. She had to beat 2 and 3 defenders to get that 5 points, and well-earned, well-deserved. This woman is really unstoppable. Keep your eyes on her.
She is very good at 7 points in the conversion. She just has a great background from high school. And this is, we were talking about it yesterday, the growth of rugby among girls high school. Players play on her team 2022 to 24. Rugby Indiana state MVP. Rugby his high school girls player of the year and her varsity team captain. So she's a freshman, a first-year player at Notre Dame, and just comes with great experience and pedigree already and showing it here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Just adding to her accolades here. Surely should be included in the team of the weekend. And I actually like this tactic from the Big Ten. It dribbles into touch, so you force a throw from Aligene in order to maintain possession.
Yeah, they've really been flirting with that 10-meter line, but ball coming. It comes back to this Big Ten team, so they're on the attack again. Dallas in there and over, and she is so effective. This Aligene team just been a little stilted all weekend, haven't quite found that rhythm. We'll see if they can find it in this third, fourth place game.
And this is one of those games that's really difficult to get up for because you had your eyes on that championship match and unfortunately fell short of that. So can you come out and perform? Can you find your teammates and make it happen?
Ball up there from Semitkoski. They're in the middle of the field. Ball works back there. Maya Weber goes down on it. Ball comes around to Annabelle Shim. Shim from Perrysburg, Ohio. The Ohio State University player. Another penalty here. Aligene not rolling away as a Big Ten. So up by 7, opportunity. Alexis Dallas in open field is hard to stop. She shows to one player, holds on to the ball, gets it away. Did it hit the knee? Referee says no, it was knocked on there. Alexis Dallas might want to let that go just a little earlier, but it's going to be a scrum here for the Big Ten.
That's a frustrating one for me to watch, and I'm sure frustration from the coaches on the sideline. They had the 2v1, they had the space. It was just a simple pass that needed to be released. You see her ball in 2 hands. She tries the show and go, but no one goes. So she's got to release it. And then a little knock on. So ball back in Big Ten's hands.
Dallas just standing off of this one. They're going to go to the left-hand side there, our Big Ten. Lucy Wilson in the distributor roll. Ball spills, but they are still alive. Blocker's going to move that ball back across field to Gale. Ball up in the hands, a long one up and over there. That's Bailey Barton. She's also had a good weekend. Looking for the pass over Dallas, and it got there, but Dallas is going to be able to make that tackle. Around the outside, looking to get around Shim. Pass goes back in from Barton. Dallas driving over this one. Player didn't seem to release to me from Big Ten, but referee's going to say play on. So Big Ten takes that ball, it drifts across the face. Now it's Aligene at the 22. Opportunity. There's room on this right-hand side. But a knock on in that breakdown. So it's going to be a scrum here for the Big Ten. Lucky break for them.
Very messy from both sides. This is their last time taking the pitch. The last time they're going to get to play with the women to the left and right of them. Potentially a few bit of nerves here that drastically wanting to end on a victory. But the double hit from Big Ten coming in and then just a little knock forward. So good pressure defensively, but on both sides, the attack just needs to take a breath, find some composure.
2.5 to go here. Ball comes out for the Big Ten. Break up that left-hand side. A long one coming. Defenders coming around, just flying down by like bowling pins. And right by them they go. It is the Big Ten going to touch this one down. Looked like Aligene touches that down. Try awarded. We'll have to get the number for you. That's just like glanced on the back there. But try for Big Ten.
Just skirts on the outside of Dallas. I think it's
Lucy Wilson.
Actually Lucy Wilson who put the ball in of the scrum, and she knew she had Alexis Dallas outmatched for pace, and I love that she backed herself. Just took the corner, and then she had a lot of work to do, but ends up in the try zone. Conversion is good and score 2 converted tries. That's 14 points to 0.
Lucy Wilson, the try scorer, first-year player to Waukesha, Wisconsin. Wisconsin All-State team in high school, another Notre Dame player. Big Ten to restart here. Ball to Aligene, down 2 tries the moment, and let that one slip. So late in this first half, we're going to have a scrum here, 2 Big Ten inside the 22, minute 10 seconds to go.
Big Ten in the driver's seat of this match, and now with the put in for the scrum, there's a large blind side for them to work with, and it looks like they're going to keep the feed on the left, and Alexis Dallas marking that side, but that allows the scrum half to stay to the top of your screen and create a 4v3.
Big Ten across to this left-hand side. Blocker looks straight ahead, just cuts through that seam and finds a space. They are up to 19. Great work here in this first half from Big Ten.
It's as easy as you like. Mia Blocker gets the ball off the scrum. It's a nice platform. There's your first try scorer. Wilson gets it out to Blocker, eyes up the opposition and says, absolutely not. I have this all day. She's in for her second.
Room just wide open there for her. Conversion to come here from Big Ten. They've hit the first 2, and they've hit the third, so they're at 21 to 0. We're going to go into halftime. Big lead here for Big Ten in this third, fourth place game. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome back. It's going to be the second half. It is a big lead at the moment here for the Big Ten All-Stars in this third, fourth place game. Aligene to kick this one off down 21-0. John Broker, Abby Gastitis. Aligene, a bit of work to do to get back in this one. Restart coming in the hands of Big Ten. Big Ten slides in behind Bailey Barton. Picked up there by Elizabeth Jewell. Spilled. Referee on the spot. Good opportunity here for Aligene to get back in this.
Great opportunity for Aligene, just 10 meters out from the tri-zone. They haven't been this close just yet, but it'll all start with this scrum. They need their forwards to engage. They've made a couple substitutions at half. Keep your eyes on that center wing combination. I like Mattia to Boyce out there.
Free kick here to Aligene. Infraction there from Big Ten at the scrum. Referee going to bring them back to the mark, but they are ready to go here through Dahlia Hill. Dahlia Hill takes a run towards the line, moves it out there to Dobransky. Dobransky gets the ball away, and Morgan Matty is going to touch that one down. Great try for Aligene, working their way back into this.
Free kick awarded, which is basically a long arm penalty. You just can't kick it out. And then through the hands, Morgan Mattia slices through the Big Ten defense. No one was stopping that line. And then the conversion is good. So we are right back to a ball game. 21 points to 7 as Aligene convert that.
Conversions could become very important in this one, as Abby well knows a good kicker in sevens is worth their weight in gold.
100%, and that's true for the conversions as well as the restarts. So we'll see if Aligene shoot it down the middle again. That last one was tough for Big Ten to hold on to, which caused the error and resulted in the 7 points.
Hummel puts that one just outside the 22. It takes a bounce, so a second extra for the defense to get up there from Aligene, but Big Ten has the ball. Players trying to rip that away. A penalty against Aligene, not releasing there. Tackler needed to be able to play the ball once, so it's a Big Ten opportunity. Big Ten just inside halfway. Ripped away that time. That's Dahlia Hill. Dahlia Hill gets a hold of it, has to go to the ground inside their own half. Boyce comes over to clean that one off. Coming out a little wider here. It's into the hands of Taylor Powell. Taylor Powell gets it to Annabelle Shim, and she has a tackler on her. Can't do too much there. It winds up in the hands of Boyce, but they're working their way further back, unfortunately, for Aligene. This is Powell. She's got Shim. Shim has to come in and clean that one up. Player in on an angle there for Big Ten. So penalty here, that was Barton committing that penalty. So a big handoff here from Hummel. Hummel just outside their 40-meter line. Powell looking for runners. Powell gets it across into the hands of Dobransky. Dobransky, an inside line there from the try-scorer, Mattia. They get it back to Dahlia Hill. She's got the speed. She rounds the corner, nearly taken down outside the 22. Aligene still with ball in hand. Ball right there to Mattia. Mattia unloads that one to Hummel. Hummel puts a kick up. Interesting tactic here. We'll see how it works out. You have Barton going back on it. Ball bobbles. Tamsin Boyce was there on defense, putting pressure on here. Now they move it away. A little bit of hot potato ball on the ground at the moment. We'll see if Big Ten can settle this down. They have players wide if they can get it there. Looks like Barton breaking through. Boyce, another great tackle at the back. She's a fullback in 15s for Wheeling and showing that ability here, and they forced a penalty. So this is ball to Aligene. Shim looking to take this one quickly.
Boy, so good in the backfield. Her tracking, her 1v1 tackling adds so much value to this team. Aligene just slowing things down. Referee not happy with the tap off the penalty, so we'll reset this. But clock just ticking and ticking away. 2 converted tries, the difference.
There was a change there. They took Hill out. So there's some players coming into the game here. Hannah Mitchell gets into touch. So first touch of the ball there, it's going to be a Big Ten line out. So not the start they would have want there. A little under 2.5 minutes, and they're down 2 tries.
So they move the ball through the hands to the left, and then Hannah Mitchell just tackled right into touch. Inexperience there, and now if you're Big Ten, it's your line out. You want to just eat away at this clock if possible. But a massive moment for Aligene.
Aligene need to convert this into points. Ball up there to Mattia. Mattia coming cross field. Boyce is outside and goes. Boyce can look for the corner. She has speed. Decides to cut back in and go back to Mattia, but it's in behind her. Still alive. Shim has been very, very powerful around the contact here, getting there every time to close that off so they can recycle the ball. Here comes Aligene through Hummel. Hummel across to 22. Hummel looking for somebody to pass to. Big Ten nearly strips that ball away, but it comes out to Powell. Powell, they have runners down the left here. Ball from Mitchell out wide there into the hands of Dobransky. Dobransky tries to slip by a couple, gets it back to Mitchell. Mitchell at the line, a couple of Big Ten players trying to hold her up in the air there, but the ball comes back. It's clean for Aligene. If they need a distributor here, picked up, however, by Powell, and she's going to go over. So another try here for Aligene. They're chipping into that lead a bit, but time working against them.
Taylor Powell dives over the line. Aligene so close, and then Powell just does so well to maintain her body position. You see her release Mitchell. Then she has rights to that ball. It is no longer a ruck, and she dives over to get 5 points, kick to come.
Very important conversion here for Aligene. That one is not going to hit. So 21-12. We have 30 seconds on the stadium clock. Could be a little referee's time potentially. This third, fourth place matchup. After this, it is a Lone Star taking on North Atlantic. They both come out of their pools #1 earlier, won their semifinals, headed to the finals. Right after this, it should be a big one between those two powerhouse teams this weekend. Aligene gets us started. 5 seconds on the game clock. Big Ten makes a break. Big Ten gets across their own 40-meter line. Referee is going to penalize Aligene. See what the decision is here. They're just going to kick this one into touch. Will Big Ten. Referee's going to whistle us for the end of that one. Your third place team is going to be Big Ten, and Aligene All-Stars are going to be your fourth place team. That is it for this matchup. We're going to step aside for a second. Be back with the big championship after this. Lone Star against North Atlantic.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
We are back at Silverbacks Park. National Collegiate Rugby's Collegiate Rugby All-Stars. Women's Sevens National Cup comes down to this. Two teams are both 4-0. That can't last beyond this one. It is going to be North Atlantic All-Stars taking on the Lone Star All-Stars. I am John Broker, joined by none other than Abby Gustitis, Olympic rugby captain, for this final matchup. It's going to be a great one. Abby's going to talk us through some players.
This is the big dance. This is what these players have been dreaming of, these final 14 minutes. And we start with North Atlantic. Keep your eyes on number 8, Caitlin Buggs. She's ever in the mix, and she has incredible players outside of her. Number 5, Breeby, no stranger to the tri-zone. And then spanning over to the light blue, the Lone Star. It's the dynamic duo. It's Leah Lockerman and Talesi Uatafe for me.
Keep an eye out for those names. The Lone Star get us going there through Kaylee Goodwin. Goodwin goes in, and it's Giesig who has done a lot of the setup work here. Number 5 for Lone Star. They get that one to Uatafe, and just like that, she's off to the races. She has Gudinas trying to catch her, but cannot do so. She may have saved the best for last. Talesi Uatafe, a student out of Southern Nazarene University. 5 points on the board.
First touch of the ball, first try of this final. She spots the gap. She sees the defense just spanning out to her left. So she cuts against the grain, and she's too strong and too powerful with ball in hand and makes quick work of the opening 30 seconds.
Giesig connects on that one, so we're a full 7 points for Lone Star. You know, Uatafe just seems to know when that big play is needed and found it right there. Just saw that space and took it at 5 points on the board. She's a wonderful player to watch. Lone Star underway. Ball back to Breeby. Gets tackled as she gets the ball. North Atlantic, team-oriented. Play well together. That's Avis Akers, the Coast Guard Academy player. Avis Akers, very important to this team. A link player, gets everybody moving. Ball comes out there from Chow. Chow gets a ball up to one of their key players, Tobias Gudinas. Hasn't been in the tri-zone a couple of times. Gudinas has players chasing, but is going to get away from Goodwin into the tri-zone. And Gudinas, the junior from the University of New Hampshire, touches down for 5 points. Kick to come. We may be tied up shortly.
From deep in their own half, Akers, a little break up the middle. Ball comes out to Gudinas, nothing really on, but uses the left foot step, gets the better of Goodwin as she drifts off the chase a little too late, but conversion is good, and we have ourselves a ball game.
We're all tied up with about 4.5 to go in this first half. 7-minute halves here in this championship all-star final. Long kick. Lone Star fielded by Goodwin. Inside her own 5-meter line. 95 meters to go. Ball off to the left-hand side quickly. Gillis puts that pass out. Gets the ball back. They're looking to go to that left side. Working it tight. Ball comes to Kirkley. Kirkley, little kick forward there was all they could do. So ball's in North Atlantic hands, just about 25 meters out, but there was a knock-on spotted by the referee. We'll come back. It's going to be a Lone Star scrum, so a couple little errors on their side, but they're going to get to work from a set piece.
A bit of reprieve for Lone Star. Things just got a little hectic there. They need to take a moment. I think this scrum will offer that opportunity. Goodwin with ball in hand. She's really been instrumental for this team this weekend, trying to create some space, but look at that back line. If they can get the ball out there, I would definitely be nervous if I was the opposition.
Coming around the other direction, Lockwood goes to Uatafe. Uatafe bobbles it once, but she is looking to get away. Can't get away from that tackle. Looks like ball is going to come back to Giesig, and back in the hands of Uatafe. Quick thinking there. Goes across to Lockerman. Lockerman hands off one player. She still has Kirkley outside of her, and she looks and pins and is about to pass, hangs onto it, and she's going to head for the try line. Leah Lockerman, the Austin, Texas native from Texas Tech University, touches down another 5 points, and like that, they are in the lead.
Messy ball, they keep it alive. Gisik Uatafe. Uatafe knows she has her try scorer, Leah Lockerman. The left arm fend the show and the go. It's 12 tries on the weekend for that woman. She is by far the standout for me.
That one does not go for Gisik. We're at 12-7. 2:20 left in this first half. Lone Star will get us started here. North Atlantic looking to answer. Just 5 points. Unconverted try would tie it. They would go in the lead with a converted try. North Atlantic. Ball just over the first line of players towards the second. So they get us going. Ball slips in behind Durant. They get it to Breeby. She's tackled. Akers shows one way and hangs onto the ball. Fights her way to the 40-meter line, gets the pass away. They have some open room out on this left-hand side. They're looking to work that one through Caitlin Boggs. Caitlin Boggs hands off Gisik on the chase. Caitlin Boggs looking for the try line, and Caitlin Boggs is going to touch it down. We're tied at 12.
Caitlin Boggs really leading this North Atlantic side all weekend and leads her team down the pitch. Good, quick hands, and then Caitlin Boggs eyes up the opposition. Look at Goodwin, she over chases. A little bit of footwork, a little bit of a slap, and she is in with a response for North Atlantic. Now this has happened both times Lone Star has scored. North Atlantic immediately find the try zone after capitalizing.
Durant doesn't hit that one, so we're tied at 12 here. About 50 seconds left in this first half. North Atlantic to kick off. We'll see if one of these teams can take a lead into the break. Chow. Up over the head, but in the hands of Bella Rankin, but it slips off of one of the Lone Star players. So a late scrum in the first half to the North Atlantic All-Stars just outside the 22.
Little bit of an average pass. Hits the deck. Lauren Anderson unable to control that one. So ball to North Atlantic as we close in at halftime.
Akers has the entire right side of the field open. He's going to get tackled quickly there, but gets the ball up into the hands of Pasquarello. Pasquarello pushes the ball wider. It's out to Breeby. Breeby looking for the corner late in the first half. Can't get there. 5 meters out. Ball down, but penalized are North Atlantic. Good work, Lone Star, around that breakdown. Gisik has ball in hand. It's their penalty.
Gisik gotta kick it out. You don't want to try and go 95 meters and risk North Atlantic getting one more in.
We are tied up at halftime at 12. We're going to be back in just a minute with the finale for this game, the finale for the championship, and the finale for this NCR All-Star Weekend. Stay with us.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome back. There's some fun in the stands. It's all tied up in this all-star matchup. North Atlantic versus Lone Star, 12-12 for the All-Star Championship. Fans having a great time. Abby Gustitis.
Fans on their feet, we're on our feet. We have 7 more minutes of action this weekend. Do not take your eyes off this match. It's all to play for. One of these teams will be lifting a championship trophy in just 7 minutes' time.
Lone Star will get us started in the second half. We'll see whose bench is deeper, who's got anything left in the tank, and who would like this trophy a little more. Ball bounces back towards Lone Star. Lauren Anderson comes in, tries to make a big hit, but good work by North Atlantic to hang on to that one. Ball out from Pasquarello to Chow. They get it off to the left-hand side there. That's Caitlin Boggs. Caitlin Boggs at her own 40 gets it to back to Pasquarello. Big run inside of the 40-meter line. Ripped away seemingly by Lone Star. So Lone Star ball here. They have players out to that left-hand side. It's that dangerous back line. It's Uatafe ball in hand. She has a kick in, trying to get it out there to Kirkley. If Kirkley can get this in hand, it'll do a lot of good for her, but it's going to come up to Godinez from North Atlantic, who's taken into touch. Haven't seen a lot of cross kicks this weekend, but an interesting venture in the final.
It ended up working out. Uatafe looks up. I generally am okay with the tactic, but it doesn't quite go to hand. However, when you have the likes of Lockerman and Kirkley outside you with all that space, let's just keep ball in hand. I back them all day long.
Good win to put this one in. The University of North Texas finance major. Giesig, great hands up in the air. Out to Uatafe. Uatafe putting pressure on that defensive line to get it to Lockerman. Lockerman's going to try to take the corner, and does, but puts it back in to Uatafe. And the two players connect for another one. It is a try here for Uatafe. Great connection between these two, and another 5 points on the board.
These two have been making magic all weekend long, and they continue to do so. Look at them. She tries to take the corner. Boggs does well, and then the one-handed offload back inside. And Talesi Uatafe is in for a double in this final.
Great try by Uatafe. Good pressure put on the line early from her. Gets it to Lockerman. Lockerman puts it into space. That one's no good. So we're a 5-point game here. 17-15 Lone Star over North Atlantic. Plenty of time to play here.
Lone Star need to make sure they switch to a defensive mindset. They've been vulnerable after both of their early tries, and that's when North Atlantic were able to stay in this match and find that try zone.
The Lone Star Armadillos with a 5-point lead. Uatafe gets us underway, changes field, kicks it straight down the middle, bounces and goes forward, but it's in the hands of Lauren Anderson. Lauren Anderson, she is powerful. She pushes off one, pushes off a second, and this is one of the things that makes her special, is that barrel try. She comes through with 5 points for Lauren Anderson.
Lauren Anderson, you do that dance. You have earned it. It's an opportunistic try, but it's also heads up rugby. It's strength, it's power, it's Lauren Anderson. She will not be stopped. That is mentality as much as it is physicality, and that woman just stood up for her team and took them into that 2-score lead.
So much fun as the kick is good there. So they move ahead to 24-12, 12-point game here. Lone Star, the Armadillos in the final, pulling away a little bit. North Atlantic will need to answer.
They cannot let their foot off the gas. They need to stay on top of this. They need to keep playing heads-up rugby. Giesig just went to the sideline, a well-deserved break for her, but these 7 left on the pitch, they have to keep it moving for these last 3 minutes.
Uatafe, 3 minutes to go in this championship match. Ball comes down into the hands of Godinez. Puts it over the top, looking to get it to the wing, but it winds up in the hands of one of these Lone Star players, a replacement player in here. They go to ground, come around that side, and it's into the hands right there. They are going for the try. Looking for it is Lone Star. That is Madison Chapman touching it down. Great try by one of the new players introduced to this game, and the Armadillos extend their lead.
Great work from Lone Star. It starts with Davis. It finishes with Chapman. She runs that lovely support line and she battles her way into the tri-zone. And I have to give some kudos to the coaching staff. This substitution, the game management, it is brilliant. You have players on your bench that come in, they don't just finish the game, they lift the energy, they bring something to the table, and that's exactly what Lone Star just did.
Tough angle on the kick. That one is not going to go, but a strong lead, 29-12, as we are 1 minute 50 seconds left in this one.
3 scores is a massive deficit to overcome in just 90 seconds. Lone Star very well may have pulled this one out, but they need to stay in tune.
Watafe again turns the other direction, just puts it to the middle of the field, taken down by Durant. Over the head of Akers, Durant takes it back. Looking for a big moment here. They would certainly need it as we're hitting 1 minute 10 seconds, but taken away there by Lone Star. A long pass out. This one's to Kirkley. Can Kirkley get the corner? Kirkley looking again around Breeby, and it gets hauled into touch. So it'll be a line out here for North Atlantic. But penalty instead for a high tackle against Breeby, so it's going to be a penalty for Lone Star.
Kirkley gets this ball, starts running completely lateral. Lockerman needs to change her line here. She's running the same line that Kirkley is. She needs to offer something different, potentially the only flaw I found in her game in 5 matches, but it will be a penalty to Lone Star. They retain ball and they elect for the scrum. It's a great option. We see that clock dwindling down. This will likely eat in to the last dying moments of this championship match.
We saw Goodwin and Watafe there exchanging glances, looking for the scrum here to take the time off the clock. 5 seconds left on the stadium clock. Watafe, ball slips in behind her. Moves it into the middle of the field. Noor Haig puts the little chip in there. Can they come up with another wonder try? Lockerman knocks that one forward. It's going to back. It'll be a scrum here if there's time left for this North Atlantic team. A referee looks at the watch and says, yes, we have time. We'll have one more passage of play at least.
One final play, but it is too little too late. Lone Star will lift the trophy. Now, will there be one additional consolation try for North Atlantic? But they have 80 meters to go. North Atlantic's feed to the scrum, seeing if they can battle through those light blue jerseys.
Ball out to North Atlantic. Final opportunity for them in this championship matchup. Ball coming out here for North Atlantic. This is one of their key runners trying to finish with a strong play. Breeby hands off Lockerman, but Lockerman will not be shut down. Referee says, thought that ball went forward, but they're going to play on here for North Atlantic. Taken away by Lone Star and wisely kicked in a touch. So that's the end of that matchup. It is going to be Lone Star taken away 29-12. They are your 2025 All-Star champion here at the National Collegiate Rugby All-Star Sevens.
Lone Star All-Stars, and that is exactly what they are. They are a phenomenal group of women, a phenomenal group of rugby players that have come together so seamlessly this weekend. They have Lockerman, they have Uatafe, they have Goodwin and Anderson, and I could just go down the entire roster, but it is a well-earned championship trophy for the women in blue.
Out of shot there is North Atlantic. There are a couple players dancing, so they're not terribly unhappy with this finish. You have Alicia Washington out there talking to this Lone Star team.
Alicia Washington, USA Eagle, will hand them the trophy as we are the champions. Gets throughout the stadium a round of applause, the excitement, the hugs. You see what it means to these players to come together. Giesek right there receiving the trophy.
There you have your champions.
Rankin and Giesek coming together to lead and captain this side. But what a performance, not only in the final, but all weekend long. So well done to the Lone Star All-Stars.
What a weekend of rugby we've had. It is coming to an end right now. We want to thank everybody at National Collegiate Rugby for putting on this fantastic event. Angela Smarto, the women's director, deserves a lot of praise here. To the teams, the coaches, the players, the trainers, the families that have come down, the fans, thank you so much. For everybody at TVX, our technical crew has been excellent throughout the weekend. For Abby Gustaitis and Darian Lovelace, I am John Broker. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Reestablished for the goal!
Skip comes, Barry fires! That's his sweet spot. 1-1.
Was on offense, Gert Spragish. Crashes, it's 1-0, 40 yards.
This one complete, Julian May. Cuts it back, what a move! May! A lost the football at the end, it came loose. Picked up by Castro. Matt McGill. Castro, still going! Touchdown, Matador!
Another shot here. Does on a line. This time it is reeled in for a touchdown. From the far side corner is true. It's Adeline Prestridge. Here come the Aggies. Oh, he posterized him! Oh! Jackson hoists up a shot off the rim. Shaw for the win! He got it! He got it!